Greetings, it's Ernest Cadotte. I'm the author of Marketplace Simulations. And I'm here today to introduce you to using Marketplace in online classrooms. Now we have a number of people who are participating that are new to Marketplace. So we're going to give you a little bit of background before we illustrate how it works. And I've enlisted the help of a number of people in that capacity. And so this is like raising a child. It takes a village, and doing things really well takes a few people as well. So I'd like to give you a few quick facts about Marketplace just to get started. We have simulations that will last for 20 minutes. We call them micro simulations. We have simulations that will last for a few hours, a few weeks, or an entire semester. We have simulations for undergraduates, MBAs, and executives, and for core classes like introduction to marketing and accounting and so forth, intro to business. But we also have a lot of in-depth simulations that cover all the disciplines, as you can see here. Students can play individually at their own pace, and when they do that, they are often competing against computer-generated competitors, or they can compete against classmates, which is really the greatest amount of fun because you are trying to outsmart perhaps your friends and colleagues, and they're trying to outsmart you, and it's a really invigorating kind of environment. Now, Marketplace, what's really great about it is that it will engage your students in a way that's much greater than you could ever accomplish with lectures and other learning pedagogies. It's the students are doing the work, and your job is to coach them, to help them understand important principles and how to apply them, to challenge them if you choose to meet with them individually or in teams. And this is really experiential learning at its best. The students are working and learning, and you're coaching. That's experiential learning. To tell you a little bit more about us, since we started in 2001, we've had 880,000 students and business professionals be trained with Marketplace. We're actually, as of now, over 900,000, and we'll be at 1 million, I believe, in the next 12 months. This map gives you an idea of where our customers are. We're literally all over the world. So I'm sure wherever you are, you can find yourself on this bubble map and see how many others are using Marketplace in your area. We have a number of important strategic partnerships that also attest to the quality of what we offer. Harvard Business Publishing now carries Marketplace in its online catalog. They have several of our simulations. And we are also partnering with Western Governors University. What's really important about them is that they're one of the largest online universities in the world with tens of thousands of students across many disciplines. And even within the business school, I believe they have 20,000 students. And we have spent several months with them crafting a curriculum that's delivered entirely online with very little instructor involvement. The bulk of the work is done through Marketplace. And we've, with them, created an undergraduate core capstone. So this is after the first 2 years of classroom work. They wanted something that would pull together all the core courses. And we also have worked with them on a capstone course for their MBA program. They're using our conscious capitalism simulation, which takes me to the the next slide, we've partnered with Conscious Capitalism, Inc. Conscious capitalism is a more enlightened view of business. The idea is to not only seek profits, but also to take care of all the stakeholders that a company must work with, and is in the community, employees, customers, stockholders, the environment. And I have here a picture of a training program we did at Monterrey Tech in Mexico. The person circled in the center is Ross Sisodia, who is the spiritual leader for Conscious Capitalism. And I was down there to the right, and Bindu Agawa was also there. She's also going to participate in today's program. But we trained all of their faculty in Conscious Capitalism. And this is absolutely wonderful partnership, and we have a Conscious Capitalism simulation if that's of interest to you. Now, here's the agenda. We'll start off with what our challenges are, give you a short video for an overview of Marketplace, talk about ADA compliance, review the game scenario. Then we're going to do a live hands-on team meeting with some of our colleagues, and then we'll show you a little bit about the Instructor software and what you can see there. We'll kind of begin to wrap it up with what is the secret recipe of Marketplace? Why does it work so well? And then identify a number of simulations that we have available, and perhaps you can find one that will fit your needs. And finally, we'd like to invite you to schedule a personal tour for a much more in-depth look. So in terms of our challenges, I like this little vignette. Welcome aboard Flight 271, flying nonstop from New York to Paris. My name is Dominique. I'm presently training to become a commercial pilot. I've never flown an aircraft before, but I studied the documentation for this aircraft. This flight will provide me with the much needed experience I require for certification. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Now, you wouldn't want to hear this over the loudspeaker, but in many ways, we send our students out into the business world, and they have a lot of documentation knowledge, but they don't have a lot of experience. So simulations are a way of doing that, just like flight simulators provide pilots like Dominique with a tremendous amount of experience before they step into an airplane. And we do that with Marketplace. This leads us to the old Chinese proverb that is, I listen, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. And you will forget 90% of what I tell you today, just like your students will forget 90% of what you tell them. If they can see how things are done, they're much more inclined to remember. But if they can actually do it, they will have much higher level of understanding and actually achieve skill level. And what is learning? Learning is, we learn the best by doing. I love this picture of the baby who is learning about the trigger mechanism on a hose. They starting off very early, actually starting off immediately after we're born. We are trying to learn from the environment, and as children, we try many things and not everything works. But the beauty of a child is the child just keeps on trying. And just the same thing is true in education. There's what's called the theory of experiential learning. And that is that we learn by doing. We try using our best knowledge, things that we've been taught, and we try to put it to work. Like in the Marketplace simulation, we do the best we can with what we know. But as I tell my students, you have never started up a business before. You've never done advertising, designed brands, and certainly not in the industry that I'm going to put you in. And so you can expect to make mistakes and It's not because of your lack of trying, but it's a lack of experience and a lack of practice. But through this process of taking your knowledge and applying it, seeing how it does, reflecting on that, those outcomes, and we will improve our knowledge. And then we go back out into the world and try again. And do the same thing with a simulation. You go to another round and take your newfound knowledge and apply it. And you will still make mistakes, but not as many. There'll be new situations where you'll have to make new mistakes, but in the process, iteratively, you keep improving, and that's how you learn and you develop skills in the process. I'd like to give you a short video that gives you an overview of Marketplace.
Welcome to Marketplace Simulations. We provide business simulations for undergraduate and graduate college courses. Simulations are digital game-like exercises that give your students the opportunity to learn by doing. Concepts come to life when students make business decisions for themselves and compete against each other in the safety of a virtual environment. Marketplace has been a leader in higher education simulation learning for more than 30 years, currently used in over 600 schools worldwide. In our simulations, students will start up a company breaking into a new market. They'll develop a business strategy, analyze market data, launch products, grow and manage a global business empire. Students test ideas and learn from the results, maximizing the bottom line. Our instructor dashboard is full of tools and resources to support you and your classroom. Set up a new simulation in just a few clicks. Easily assess student performance and monitor decisions real time. Automated grading and world-class support mean you spend more time focusing on your students. With over 30 simulations ranging from marketing to entrepreneurship to strategy and from core to capstone, we have the right one for your course. If you're looking to introduce a business simulation to your classroom, just visit us at marketplacesimulations.com.
So that gives you a nice compact overview of what Marketplace does. I'd like to take you a little bit deeper into what Marketplace offers. The next thing is the ADA compliance. That's American Disabilities Act, and I'm sure that no matter where you are, you have a similar kind of legal requirement. Our goal is that all students can easily, equally, and independently engage with our simulations. We spent more than a year to make sure that this is a true statement. On the left, you'll see the different kinds of limitations that people have, whether it be visual, motor, auditory, or cognitive. There are really very specific guidelines that are available that define how you must present information and enable people to make decisions and interact with whatever you have. And we've spent a lot of time crafting Marketplace to satisfy these. Here's just one example. In one of our games, there are 12 markets in which the players can open up a test market store. And for the sighted, you can see where they are and understand their position relative to each other. But if you have limited eyesight, we provide a description that a screen reader can read and will communicate the essential information in that graph. And so we do these kinds of things throughout the software. I'd like to give you a game scenario, what the game scenario is. We have a new Marketplace simulation, which is based on 3D printed carbon fiber bicycles. So in this particular scenario, this is for an intro to marketing simulation. We have variations on it for full enterprise simulations, international simulations, and so forth. But the one which we will show you is for an intro to marketing class. So you work for a large international bicycle firm. Corporate headquarters wants to enter the 3D printed carbon fiber bicycle business. And this is a new segment of the bike business. It's actually, carbon fiber bikes have been around for a long time. Not a long time, but for a good number of years. But these bicycles are really very expensive. Today, if you want a pretty decent carbon fiber bike, you're going to spend $10,000 to $15,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. But there has been new technology just recently developed. And the reason I actually created this simulation is that we are adjacent to the Oak Ridge National Lab, which does research and state-of-the-art work with regards to 3D printing, or what is also called additive printing, and carbon fiber. There is a manufacturing demonstration facility, which is as large as a very large supermarket, filled with 3D printers. And I've had the opportunity to visit, see how they work. I've worked with people who do 3D printing. By the same token, they are also specialists in material science, and one of the things they have created is a very inexpensive carbon fiber. It's the same kind of material that goes into our socks, and they can use that to create carbon fiber. So these two innovations are setting the stage for the ability to create 3D printed carbon fibers. We're not quite there, but we're near there. And so I created this simulation with that in mind. And this is the scenario that we've built. So in this particular game, you're going to head up a new marketing division to test market this business idea. And you'll be selling these 3D printed carbon fiber bikes to consumers in company-owned stores. There'll also be other competitors that will be doing the same thing at the same time. They could be your classmates, or they could be computer-generated competitors. The market characteristics are, there are three market segments. There is the recreation segment. These are people who like to ride the bike, easy ride on bike paths in the country, through the neighborhood. And they're looking for ease of use, comfort, safety. They're out to have a good time with family and friends. And they're willing to pay for a carbon fiber bike a bit more than what they would pay for a metal bike, but they're still price conscious. There's another segment which is willing to pay more, and they're looking for a very rugged bike, and that's the mountain segment. These are people that go off-road. They like to work hard and pedal up the mountains. It doesn't bother them to hit roots and stones and dodge trees and so forth. In fact, that's the fun of it, and they love to come down and face that challenge. And they'll pay a little bit extra to have a rugged bike. Then you have the speed segment, which, as the name suggests, is for people who like to ride fast. They ride on the roadways. They're looking for a very light aerodynamic bicycle, and they'll pay for those capabilities. So these are the segments that you would have to deal with, and you would pick one and then another to pursue to develop your business. Now, there are 4 test stores that have been identified, test locations, and what you'll be doing is rolling out your products to all 4 of these test stores over time, but you have to pick one to get started, just like you pick one segment to get started. Now, what's really great about having 3D printed bicycles is that you can have a different kind of store. If you take the store on the left, this is a friend of mine, Kelly. He has to have a bike, a good, better, and best bike for everybody. He has to have a male and a female version, and he has to have bikes for children, recreation segment, mountain segment, speed segment. People are commuting. It's not hard to have 100 bikes in the store. Now, with 3D printing, what's really nice is you have a showroom as opposed to every bike that you could possibly want to sell. And so in this space here is a showroom where your models are placed. And over here you have a fitting space where you're measured as to your size and based on your physical characteristics, a frame will be designed just for you, and also based on your skill level, because if you're a mountain biker, you're a different person than if you're a recreational biker. So this creates a different kind of a store than the classic one. There are a lot of really great advantages to 3D printed carbon fiber bikes. One is they're lighter than a metal bike, therefore it's a lot easier to pedal. They're more comfortable. One of the advantages is that the carbon fiber absorbs vibrations that come through the handlebars and the seat and so forth. All right. So it's more comfortable. There's also less fatigue and more comfort because the frame is built for you and just you alone, based on your physical requirements and skill needs. You'll find that because you're using less energy, you're not, you don't feel all that vibration, you'll be more energized and you'll enjoy the ride more. And the price is much more affordable because instead of spending $10,000 to $15,000, you're spending $800, $900, $1,000, $1,500. Still a bit pricey, but you get to ride a really cool carbon fiber bike. If you've ever seen one, you ever picked one up, I mean, it is exciting. So those are the customer advantages, but there are also some tremendous business advantages, which helps to be able to offer these prices at a very economical price. One is that the production is streamlined. You're only going to be producing bikes to order. So if somebody goes into the store and gets measured and orders any of those bikes, those specifications are sent to the production facility where that bike is made to order, and then shipped to the store for delivery to the consumer. As a consequence, there's no inventory. So you don't have warehouses. You don't have warehouses full of inventory. You don't have stores filled with inventory. So all those costs go away. As a result of that, debt and equity is not nearly so great. You don't have your money tied up in all these assets. And the bicycle shop is smaller and more pleasant, less expensive, right? One really great part of this is that you're more likely to make a sale under this business model, because if you remember Kelly's bike shop, you go in there and you find you want a recreation bike, comes in a couple of different sizes and male or female, but you may not find the right bike for you, either because of the size differences from what they specified versus what you need, or the colors or seat and all these things are different. So you end up going to 2 or 3 stores to find the right bike. But with the 3D printed bikes, it's all for you and you pick it up in a few days. And so you're more likely to make a sale. Now, all the games have a particular chronology, whether it's an intro to marketing, intro to business, supply chain, strategy, conscious capitalism. There are like 4 stages. There's a startup phase where the students learn the business, develop an initial strategy, and go to test market. And as I said earlier, none of these students have started up a bicycle company, opened a store, designed bikes. And so it's important to learn the business and start slowly and try out your ideas. And so every game has a couple of business quarters of test marketing. And you go through this iterative process of learning how to be successful in this market. Then I like to have a transition phase where you give the students a chance to pause and reflect on what they've learned. They get some additional capital, either from corporate headquarters or venture capitalists, that they can invest in new R&D, new sales outlets. But the important part is for them to reflect on what they've learned, and you can have them prepare a marketing plan or a business plan. It could be something formal with a presentation or something as short as a memo or a reflection. Then the idea is after having reflected, they can go into the growth phase and implement their plan and expand their business. And one of the things they'll discover is that the market still continues to change. Competitors are coming up with their own ideas, and there's still more learning and skillful adjustment required. At the end of the exercise, we typically have some kind of final accountability. The students are ranked using a balanced scorecard. We look at how they did in the last 4 quarters of their play, and they have to monitor their performance and work to improve themselves on their financials, market shares in their targeted segments, customer satisfaction, creation of wealth, human resources, whatever the game includes. So they're ranked among those in their class, as well as anybody who's ever played that game before. There's also an opportunity here for another reflection on how things went. And this could be a formal presentation, a short report, or a memo, but it's usually a good idea to get them to think about what they experienced. All right, so now we're gonna try something that's risky. We're gonna go online with the team playing Marketplace. So I have recruited some good friends who are going to show you how you can do this all online. We have Mary Hannah here in Knoxville. We have Paul Choi in South Korea, and Bindu Agarwal in India, and Reno Senior in Dominican Republic. And so I have asked them to take over a company and work their way through the first quarter. And so I'm gonna stop sharing and give this over to Mary Hannah, who's gonna take over.
All righty, we are now in our Marketplace simulation game. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today and electing me as the team president. Today, we need to make our final decisions on our company name, target segment, and store locations. To recap, Paul is in charge of research and strategy. Bindu is in charge of our marketing. And lastly, Reno is our sales. So Bindu, I know you were starting to come up with some name ideas, but I think it would be a good idea if we first hear from Paul on his target segment findings and where he recommends us entering the market. So Paul, would you like to tell us your findings?
Sure. I was just checking out potential demand of each different segment, also every different cities in all over the world. Definitely, like at first we need to start from like a approachable market. So I would like to suggest you recreational market, since it's a very affordable price we can provide. At the same time, there are bunch of market chance, especially Amsterdam. So, and I checked out their willing to price willing to pay is just a recreation for their willing to pay is 900, and also the market size, possible market size is pretty big. So I'm just recommend you to, and then you just take that all those their customer needs and wants. You can easily check out as much cost compatible. So I'll definitely recommend recreation as the first segment. After that, we can move on our next strategy, like expand to mountain. That's my suggestion as in charge of marketing research.
Okay, thank you, Paul. That was some really great information. Bindu, what do you think on Paul's findings?
Yeah, as per the market selection done by Paul, and because in the future we would be moving to all the segments: recreation, mountain, and speed. And as we know that this is a new business opportunity and a high-tech business, so my suggestion is to name our company, which is very highly personalized kind of bike we are offering. So probably my bike, so that people can relate it to their own customized kind of thing. First choice is my bike. Second choice is Futuro Tech bikes, so that we can tell the customers, okay, you are going to be the part of the future technology, and they would be having pride in selecting our or adopting our carbo fiber bikes. And my third choice would be the trendy bikes. And because we are venturing into the new technology, and new trends would be our USP. So these three names. And I would like to have a discussion with the team if they would like to select any one of these names.
I mean, I think future tech sounds great. I would like to hear from everyone else though as well, to hear what they think. While we're discussing this, I'm going to go ahead and put in our decision, because do we all agree on the recreation as our first priority for segment?
I think recreation, it's probably the safest entry point, but definitely according to the evolution of what we can see ahead, we might as well be able to move to the other segments as well.
I agree. And we said mountain would be our second priority, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we got an error message. It looks like we are not quite able to decide on our second priority. So we will just keep recreation as our first priority, and we'll decide once we have more data on our other segments. Bindu, I'm going to come back to your name ideas. Like I said, I really liked the future bike ideas, but I would like to hear from everyone else on their ideas or on their opinion.
I like future bike as well.
All right.
Okay.
Future tech, was that future tech bikes?
Future tech bikes.
Future tech bikes.
Future tech bikes. I like that one.
Thank you, Bindu. That was a great idea.
Done great.
All righty. Now we're going to come down and look at where we can enter the market at. I know Reno had been working on this, so let's hear from Reno about his market findings.
Well, I was looking at the forecast of the four different cities that we have available to test this entry of market, exploring the total potential market of the three different segments we might be able to enter. As I was saying, recreation at first, but eventually we can move on to the other. So what I was doing is making an exercise on comparing the cost of the sales offices to establish there. And I found out that, for example, Amsterdam and New York City, they may run about a total of around 16,000 units, each of these two markets, but the cost of the office runs between $50,000 and $70,000. Now, whether you look at the minor or the more less expensive markets like Bangalore or Rio de Janeiro, and even though the forecast may drop around 30%, the cost of the office could be a quarter of that. So my choice probably for entering the market and for a test purpose will probably be Bangalore, which is a very inexpensive office, and yet the volumes that we can seize there will probably be 30% less than in Amsterdam or New York City.
Thank you. Bindu or Paul, do you have any thing you would like to add to Reno's findings? Do you think
I think
Bangalore is a good first place?
yeah, I think he's good. Good choice.
Thanks, Bindi.
Alrighty, our first location is going to be in Bangalore.
Yeah, yeah, possible, I think.
I brought back up the data so you can look at it again. Paul, did you have another city in mind?
I mean, I personally, based on the possible number of buying bikes in Bangalore, it looks great. At let me see. I'm just checking things out.
That's perfectly fine. We got to make sure we enter in the proper location.
Yeah, you will discover that there are
Yes.
probably higher prospect markets, but the cost of entering there, it will be more expensive as well. So for a tryout period, it will probably be safer and lower risk to enter Bangalore or
Yeah,
than New York City or Amsterdam. But we could see if we're willing.
In terms of, I mean,
could go there.
we are taking a, yeah. In terms of risk, I mean, I totally agree. I also want to avoid the risk at first. I mean, but as time goes by, let's move on. Let's taking some more risk as time goes by is possible. So yeah, I agree. No.
Okay, we'll make sure maybe next time we can go into Amsterdam
Right.
or possibly New York City as well. I went
Sure.
ahead and selected Bangalore as our first location to enter the market on. I'm going to make sure all of our decisions are in here properly. If y'all notice anything that doesn't look correct, let me know. But it is looking good to me. I'm going to make sure we don't have any issues. It looks like we are in the clear. We don't have any errors. So I am going to submit our results.
Good.
Yeah, we seems we gotta go.
Good.
All righty.
Yes.
Thank
Ooh.
you, team, for helping me make
Excellent.
these decisions.
That's great.
I'm going to hand it back over to Ernie, and he
you.
will wrap
Great.
up.
Very good. That is excellent work by the team. It's nice to be the fly on the wall and see how things are done. So what we just illustrated is that a team can work together from anywhere. I mean, from literally, as you saw, all over the world, and they're all connected through Marketplace, and we can all see exactly the same things that Mary Hannah is showing. What's nice is that then you as an instructor can also connect with your students and you can have briefings. We call them executive briefings, or you can have one-on-one meetings, however you wish to do it, and have a good dialogue with your students as they are participating in the competition. I'd like to show you a little bit more and just take a couple of minutes to, I'd like to show you the Instructor software, how you design brands and the viewpoint from the instructor. I can even just show you really quickly. I can create a new game, all right, and I can give it, this is under Gary's profile, but I can call it let's just call it a test game, and I can choose the level of my curriculum. Now this, I will say it's we're going to do a test game, all right, and I explain why, and that is to get experience, all right, and that's a signal to our support team that we're here to help you and not charge you for that. This will be in English, and I can choose any of these games. If I choose Intro to Marketing, All right, and then we'll have them play against classmates. All right, and I can choose chapters. I can add micro simulations. I'm going to leave that for the moment. It will ask me how many students. Let's say because this is a test game, I'm going to do it with just 8 people. And we're going to set up 4 teams, or no, excuse me, number of licenses I need. Number of students per team, okay, 2. And I'm going to set up 4 teams, and I need 8 licenses. And then I set my schedule. So I'll set it to start tomorrow, and we will do this every week, once a week. And this is a summary of what I just did. I submit, and I get my game ID, and this will also be sent to me. So I hadn't really intended to do that, but that is a good example of how you create a game. Now in front of me, I'm going to take this opportunity to show you a few more things. So we have Prime Bikes and Future Carbon Tech. I can click on Future Carbon Tech, and I can see exactly the same thing that they see. I'm going to just blow this up so it's a little bit easier. And so all 4 of those participants are looking at the same thing I'm looking at. And so I can walk through it with them. I can see what they're experiencing. So some of the cool things here, we set up these games so that we always put information in front of a decision. So knowing customer needs is really important. And so if I wanted to create a recreation bike, I'd go to customer needs and wants. I click on the icon up here, and it tells me easy to ride, comfortable. I want to feel young at heart, safety, simple to use, low price point. So using that information, I can go in here and design a new brand. So, so I'm going to call this the Future Comfort. Okay, that's the name of my brand, and I'm going to choose the Comfort bike frame. And so you can see it. Now, if I had chosen a rugged bike frame, you'll see that it has a different shape, aerodynamic bike frame. And you might have noticed things are changing here. These are the features that would be appropriate for the different bike frames. And so you'll see that on my tires, I could have mountain tires or hybrid or racing tires. As I move my cursor across that, you'll see a description to the left and the shape of the tire. If you look at the bike, you'll see that the wheels are highlighted, and as I shift to different tires, they appear there. Same thing with brakes. If I have a standard disc brake, okay, handlebars, and gear speeds. So I can design a bike for the segment that I'm targeting, all right? And I have pricing decisions and advertising decisions, and I hire salespeople. So these are the things which I can do. And as a student, and also as an instructor, I can watch. So that gives you a feeling for the instructor and student experience. So what is the secret recipe here for Marketplace? I will take you there. I think that there's 2 things that instructors look for. One is to not have a lot of work, little or no work, and the second thing is to be a hero. So as far as being the hero, the way to do that is to give the students something they love, all right? Something they enjoy, something they get excited about when they see you and they want to talk to you about it. And something that they will work on outside of class time and will be thinking about when they're eating, taking a shower with friends. You want something that's fun, realistic, relevant, and highly spirited. That's really great. When you can give them that, you become the hero. And the other thing is to not do a lot of work and just to emphasize that, we've thought through the entire pedagogy. We have an assortment of simulations for you. We have a number of options with any of those simulations. We have micro simulations, we have quizzes, we have assessments. You can choose what you want. When you are serving your role as the coach, we put a lot of tools at your fingertips. You can set up a game in a matter of clicks. You choose the level of difficulty, tell us the number of students, and how many teams you're going to have, what extra features you want. And you can do this in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes, and you're all set up. When you are playing the game, you have a coaching assistant, which will identify the areas of concern with any team and give you some guidance on how to work with that team. We have various strategic highlights that will show you all the decisions that each team is making side by side, and we have automated grading. And the automated grading based on that balanced scorecard will rank the students from high to low and assign a grade from the highest. We use A's down to D's. For an F, you would be something really remarkable. Most of the students really do quite well, put in a lot of time, and so we're looking at grades that tend to be pretty good because of the amount of effort that they will put into it. We also keep students in a safe space during the startup phase and test marketing. You saw Mary Hannah show you an error message about not choosing a second segment. And so we do that until they get to the point of transition where they have extra money, and then we let them go. The secret recipe of all this is the realism. I hope you could see a little bit of it, and I'll come back to it. It's a very visually rich and enlightening workspace. The things that students do are highly relevant to what marketing people and business people do. The rivalry is what gets the competitive juices flowing and causes people to get highly involved. And it's a game. It's fun to see how you're going to do, to anticipate that, to worry about your competition, to have a certain amount of anguish and exhilaration. These are all parts of the experience of playing a game. All right, now choosing the right simulation. We have literally a simulation for you no matter where you are coming from. We have intro to business simulations for core classes, and whether it be business fundamentals or intro to business and strategy, accounting the same, marketing, intro courses. Then as you get into higher level classes at the undergraduate level, we have strategic marketing, advanced strategic marketing, which is also good at the MBA level. In strategy and business policy, we have a simulation that focuses on strategy. This conscious capitalism simulation is great. It actually fits in a lot of different places. But you have all the normal business challenges plus the issues of dealing with and taking concern for many stakeholders. And even an intro to business and strategy simulation fits here if you're looking for something light and not take up too much time within the course. We have a good number of channel and supply chain simulations with varying difficulties. In entrepreneurship, it's a big area for us. We have a new venture strategy that conscious capitalism also plays in. We have operations management simulation. At the graduate level, I can recommend the conscious capitalism again. It is a sophisticated simulation, and you want it for more experienced students. And we also have international corporate management. So you can pick the simulation that you would like. We want to invite you to schedule a personal tour. There's a lot more to this than what we've been able to show you. But one thing which we would like you to come away with is that you can do this. Marketplace is the expert in online delivery. We've been doing it for 20 years. We're safe, we're highly reliable. Our content is relevant to what the students want to learn, what you want to teach them. If you take what we have, and for the most part, people have been doing this in face-to-face, but you can go online. There's great tools out there today with video conferencing, video chat, and even connecting by phone. I was talking with Bharat Damani, who's in Pune, India, just yesterday, and he conducted his class because of bandwidth. They couldn't do video connections, but they could connect by phone. But with everybody having the same information in front of them, they're all logged into the same software. They could, just as you listen to Reno kind of direct Mary Hannah where to look, you can do the same thing because everybody has the same information. And so you can do this even by phone and use WhatsApp or whatever. The thing that's really helpful at this time is that students are familiar with many of these tools. They already use them all the time. You've probably seen them in your classroom, and you probably do the same thing. So what we want to do is encourage you to contact support, and learn some more, and choose the right simulation. If you'd like, we can set up a trial run for you. Rajkumar Fatate, he wants to get some of his fellow teachers in practice just the same way that you saw our team do it. And so we would encourage you to do the same. And what we would like you to remember about Marketplace, it is a fun way to learn business. Everyone can play, there are no limitations. We have a Marketplace simulation for you, whatever your level, whatever your discipline, and we can help you be a hero, all right? Your students will love this experience. And I'd like to thank everybody for participating. You know, to kind of wrap it up, what we work towards is engaging your students, challenging them, inspiring them, and helping you to transform them. All right, that's our goal. I think that's your goal. And Marketplace Simulations is there to work with you to achieve actually these goals.